breakdowns either way.
Yeah, I like the way you put that, Kevin, because you're talking about experience, preparation, and mentality. And those are on display with these teams. They don't beat themselves. That's what you're basically saying. These are teams that you have to beat. So it should be fun to watch this matchup.
The good ones always pride themselves in being prepared in all ways, don't they?
Yeah.
For every game, as many as there are.
No question. And the other thing is when you're a veteran team, you're an experienced team that has some talent, it pains you when you give games away.
All fueled up and ready to go. Let's check out who's on the floor, courtesy of Gatorade. On the floor for Dallas, Doncic and Barnes are the forward pair. Smith and Matthews in the backcourt. And it's Jordan in at the center filling out the middle. And so it's the Mavericks getting on the board first. Here's Harden. That's in, and he found his range with that one. Now 1 for 2.
And you know, the thing about Harden, crafty in the paint, he really finds angles and avenues to get the shots he wants when you don't think there's any angle or avenue to find.
It's stolen by Ennis. In the corner, Harden. Kept alive, Capella. And Jordan sends it back.
Hey, get that weak stuff out of here. Take it home. Jordan is fantastic at rejecting those kinds of shots.
Houston's gone 0 of 2 from deep here. Here's Harden. Shoots over Matthews. And so he earns a trip to the line. Officials saw the contact, and he'll shoot 2. And James Harden was crowned MVP after last season. Greg, hard to argue with that selection.
Harden has had a case to win an MVP award for several years now. Finally was able to be the clear choice this past season. Another great line on what is shaping up to be a Hall-worthy resume.
Free throw dropped for Harden.
You know, it's become almost a foregone conclusion that Harden is going to lead the league in free throw attempts every year. He is a master at getting to the line.
Harden hits them both.
You know, in recent years, the Rockets have not lacked for critics. I mean, they're a jump shooting team. They're a bean counting front office. A coach whose teams don't defend. Last season, I think, silenced a lot of those critics.
Now, here's Doncic. What a tremendous game he played against Houston. 5 to shoot. Here's Smith. And the layup's good off the glass.
Smith showing outstanding concentration on these hard shots, even as he's getting hit.
Rockets have gone just 1 of 4 to get this game started. And Clark, it all seemed to come together for the Rockets last season. What was the key in your estimation?
I think you've got to look right at the addition of Chris Paul, reducing the workload on James Harden, more defensive-minded wings, also the development of Clint Capella. When you factor those things in, you get 65 wins during the regular season for the Rockets.
Here's Smith after Clint Capella's bucket. Smith in the posts. He's coming off a 10-point game against the Rockets in Houston.
And he didn't take any plays off at the defensive end. I mean, he wound up with 4 steals on the night.
Harden with it. Matthews covering. Shot by Ennis. Nobody around. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time.
Hey, we know Harden can score, but he also has great vision.
Smith finds Barnes. Doncic with it. Guarded by Tucker. Floats one, and Doncic lays it in. Doncic has got his second basket of the night.
Gotta like how they've come out here. I mean, connecting on 4 of their first 5 shots, yes, that's good.
Harden the pass to Paul. No good with the triple. And it's Smith with the ball. He brings it up for the Mavericks. They trail by 1. They won their last game against the Rockets in Houston.
A huge margin of victory for them when these two teams squared off last, and they got scoring from up and down their lineup.
Yeah, the reserves, the guys coming off the bench, Greg, made their presence felt. And, of course, with their big lead, they were able to give the bench a lot of run.
Now here's Harden after Luka Doncic's miss. Matthews with the steal. Smith outside. The 18-footer is right on the mark. Smith's got 6.
Smith very crafty at finding ways to get room for that mid-range shot. He's got an awesome in-between game.
Now here's Ennis. He had an 18-point outing in their last game against Dallas. Here's Harden. He can't get that one, and it's Dallas the other way, coming into this having notched a win against the Rockets in their last game.
And always tough on the road, but that attack mindset that they brought offensively, I really felt like that set them apart.
And what stood out to me, Greg, was the aggressiveness. I mean, it seemed like they just were eager to get it done, wanted it a tad more than the other team.
Great open look there. And it's 6 points for Luka Doncic.
Yeah, those shots are taken totally in rhythm, high percentage quality shots, and really getting whatever he wants.
Here is Harden. He's coming off a 25-point game against Dallas.
And his big night wasn't limited to his offense. His steals numbers were way up there, and it was a special night for him in just about every way.
And a nice job here early of establishing an inside presence.
Outside Jordan. Lobs it up for Jordan. Takes the alley-oop pass and dunks it down.
Yeah, you got to respect the athletic reach of Jordan now. Throw it up, and he will bash in the alley-oop.
And that Unleash Chaos replay presented by Under Armour. Cover Havoc, giving us a chance to relive that exciting play. Now here's Harden. 6 points for him. At the top of the key, Capella. Harden against Matthews. And the bucket counts. 3-point chance here.
I don't think there's anybody better than Harden at converting through contact. Superb in that area because he's crafty, he's strong, and he's skilled.
And guys, let's get your take on the scoring breakdown for Dallas.
They pounded the ball inside in the first half, forcing the D to collapse, and that frees up the shooters going forward.
They've been distributing the ball really well tonight, too. I mean, a decent number of assists so far for them.
Now, here's Doncic. He's got 6. And it's Smith missing. Jacks up a 3. And Harden gets it to go in on the assist by Paul. That's 12 points for James Harden.
As hot as he's been this quarter, the game plan is simple, folks. Get him the ball and get out of the way.
It's tipped. A shot by Paul. Nobody around. No good on the triple. Mavericks trailed by 3.
And, you know, we've seen what Rick Carlisle can do on the court. He's a former coach of the year in the league and led the Mavs to a championship back in 2011. But his off-the-court talents are also very impressive.
Here's Gordon. Harrison Barnes picking up that last basket. And Houston again with the bucket.
Boy, I tell you what, when Harden decides to turn it up, then you're turned out. It is a sight to see, folks. I mean, relentless, instinctive, tremendous night so far for him.
And Dallas calls their first time out of the game. And James Harden taking home the MVP award in 2018. And Clark, well deserved.
It sure was, Kevin. A career mark in scoring a league-high 30 points a game. The first player ever to drop 60 points as part of a triple-double. It certainly was his year.
Catching up on the changes for Dallas. Maxi Kleber, he's checked in for Barnes. Harris comes in for Doncic. And Barea subbed in for Smith. And it's the Rockets on the break. Gordon with no one around. And a great assist by Paul as that one goes in. Gordon's got his first bucket of the game, and he's on the board for 3. And what's your take, guys, on the hustle stats for the Rockets?
They've come out in attack mode on the defensive end. They've applied pressure and forcing turnovers.
Another big aspect of their game tonight has been the fast break, transition opportunity. They're really keeping it up-tempo so far.
Powell, he's jacked in for Jordan. Pass to Powell. Dallas moving it around. 6 on the shot clock. Here's Harris. Harden with the defensive effort.
Oh, you've got to be able to deliver when you get a bunny like that. That's just too easy of a shot to miss.
There's Here's the triple. Kleber with the rebound. Mavericks trailed by 6. For 3, Harris. They get it back. Powell, that's good. Powell's got his first 2 points.
Boy, intensity always a good thing, and Powell brings it solid at getting after offensive rebounds for his team.
Now Harden, he's got 14. The pass to Hartenstein. Barea against Paul. Over Barea, and Houston again with the bucket.
This is one of Paul's strengths to me. Very effective at taking advantage of any holes he sees in that in-between area on the floor.
Harris kicks to Kleber. Down low, here's Barea. And the rejection by Harden. Over in the corner, Paul. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got 3 assists tonight.
And it just seems that every pass they make is leading to a score. Just great ball movement.
Now here is Harris. Boy, that win against the Rockets. He's another guy who really showed up to play.
And of the last 6 baskets, 5 have come on the interior. This is just smash mouth physical basketball, guys.
Harris against Harden to the paint. Here's Hartenstein. Oh, that's blocked. Now here's Barea. He had 13 points in the win against the Rockets in Houston. Paul dishes to Harden. Passes it to Hartenstein. Paul against Barea. Shoots over Barea. Goes back up. Fouled in the act of shooting. A 3-point play chance coming up.
Attacking the rack to great effect.
And not hesitating at all to pound it inside here early.
Clark, there was a rules change not too long ago that promoted more help defense, less one-on-one defense. Good or bad?
I like it. Again, there's always going to be a premium on defending one-on-one, but positioning defenders where you can help better and more, I think it's trying to make sure the offensive side doesn't get too much of an advantage where the rules had gone in the past. So I think it's a nice balancing act for the game. Unfortunately for the Mavericks, they've gotten pummeled on the glass recently. 27th in the league last year in rebounding, dead last the year before.
Here's Finney Smith taking a look at the scoring numbers. Right now he averages about 9 points a game. Let's go. And that one hits back iron. Rockets leading by 9. Here's Paul. And the lead now, double digits on that bucket. Paul's got 7 points in the game. And for the Mavericks, they play such a perimeter-oriented game that impacts their rebound total.
Yeah, it's hard to chase down rebounds now when you're 25 feet away from the goal. Still, it's rare that your top rebounder averages only 6 boards a game, which is what Harris and Barnes did.
Here's Barea following the basket by Chris Paul. Again, the miss by the Mavericks. 1:05 left to play in the first quarter. And here's Harden. He's got 14. Clark for 3. Good. It's Harden with the assist that time. Harden's got 4 assists now tonight.
Starting to surge here, and we're only in the first quarter.
Yeah, and they've come out strong. I mean, clearly they've been the better team so far. Boy, that was a pretty assist by Harris.
Last outing for Houston, it was a loss to Dallas. Takes a shot at the elbow, and again, the Rockets good for 2.
This is as good as it gets for a first quarter in terms of shooting the basketball.
Greg, you're exactly right. I mean, everything seems to be dropping. Impressive scoring here.
Now here is Harris. He hasn't scored yet. That I'm sure will change. And count it. He'll head to the line with a chance to make it 3.
He has a little bit of trickeration with that one. Gets that one to go against the limb.
Trickeration. I like that, partner. That's pretty strong word creation. And you've got to be creative, though, whether you're commentating or hooping, especially when you're going inside.
The free throw off from Harris.
And Harris does a really good job using his quickness to his advantage, and he's got plenty of that quickness. A creative guard who plays with an edge, too.
Stolen away. Berea against Paul. Kicks it out to Harden. A three-pointer off the mark. From deep three-point range, James Harden getting it done for the Houston Rockets. He totaled 14 points in the quarter. He's given them all the offense they need right now. We've got more NBA basketball coming your way in just a minute.